Is Joe Lincoln Clay's father? Hey, what is up guys? My name is Martin and welcome to 2K Central. Okay, so there's been a theory going around and we've received some comments on this topic. What if Joe is Lincoln Clay's father? Now here are 5 points that back up this theory. Lincoln has some similar physical and facial features to Joe. If you look really closely, there is a slight resemblance between the two. Now here are the major ones. Joe was a player, a ladies' man throughout Mafia 2. He clearly slept with a lot of women who were perhaps questionable. Therefore, there's a slight chance that he could have had a kid that he was unaware of. Mafia 2 was based in the 1940s/1950s. People had kids when they were much younger in that time, and perhaps there wasn't a large knowledge of safe sex, etc. Now, I thought to myself, I've seen Joe with a lot of women throughout Mafia 2, but I don't recall any of them being African American. Until I looked over my Mafia 2 footage and I seen this lady, which does add to the theory. Joe did indeed lay with an African American woman. If you look at her, she does look rather like Lincoln, so perhaps lady plus Joe equals LC, Lincoln Clay. Okay, I'll admit things are getting a little weird, let's tone it back a little. Now, Hangar 13 have clearly put a massive emphasis on Lincoln being a half-black, half-white orphan, which is interesting, kinda does hint that there's a major plot point behind it, considering they're being that specific about Lincoln Clay's heritage this early before its release. Lincoln himself puts a massive emphasis on family. It seems to be the overall theme for his character in Mafia 3, finding his family, or at the very least gaining some closure by finding out who they were. And what would be the most meaningful conclusion to Lincoln's "who are my parents" question? Lincoln being the son of her beloved best friend Joe. And finally, Vito is in the game. Vito's reasons for being in New Orleans are unknown at this time. Perhaps he returned to Joe's apartment after the end of Mafia 2 and he sees a letter from Joe's baby mama. Or he was told by Joe before he died that he has a kid, so eventually Vito took it upon himself to travel to New Orleans and find Joe's son. Therefore he could be the final piece of the puzzle, as he can explain who Joe is to Lincoln, and that may help piece it all together. Now, as I said, this is all hearsay. I've stated previously this theory is kind of grasping at straws. We're all grasping at just about anything to make this theory a reality, but it's just a theory that's been going around, and with the current evidence, it seems possible, but unlikely. People are entitled to an opinion, and being 100% honest, this theory can't be completely debunked because we haven't played the game. In my opinion, Joe being Lincoln's father would give the hardcore Mafia 2 fans a major feels moment, especially if Joe is indeed dead, but he can't be. I refuse to believe it. Now, here are a few things that need to be confirmed for this theory to be true. As we all know, Lincoln grew up in a Catholic orphanage in New Orleans, which we presume is nowhere near the fictional city that is Empire Bay, which Mafia 2 took place in. So how would Joe's child end up in New Orleans? It doesn't really add up. And the second thing is, what are the odds that Vito somehow finds Lincoln, his best friend's estranged son, who happens to be in the same city and the same criminal business? Vito, he knows nothing about Lincoln, or most likely doesn't even know Joe's kids exist. The odds of both of these two come to the conclusion that Lincoln is indeed Joe's son, it's so unlikely, almost like a fairy tale. Plus, it's way too happy for the Mafia series. Also, we need more confirmation of Lincoln's age. For me personally, he looks like he's between 22 and 25 years old. If Joe is alive, he's around the same age as Vito, so around 42 years old. That would mean Joe was in his teens when he planted his seed, which is possible, but to me seems unlikely. Now, the trouble with debunking a theory is it's just a theory. Everyone can express what they think and see. Every person sees things differently. No one is stating that this theory is fact. It's just a fun topic. I personally don't believe Lincoln is Joe's son. I think it has too many plot holes currently. We need more information to be released until we can actually take this theory seriously. But as I said, there is some evidence there that Hangar 13 can use to give us this, I guess, emotional moment. So for now, I'm going to say he isn't his son. Well, you can say yes he is, but we truly won't know who's correct until the game is out. Regardless, we'd love to hear your opinion in the comments below. And we've come to the conclusion of this video, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more Mafia related content here on 2K Central.
That's absolutely splendid. Walking down the street and you hear that heavy beat.